Namaskar, I am Anubhav Ranjan and you are watching Ritam. Pakistan, a nation often touted as a critical player in South Asia, continues to crumble under the weight of its own failures. The recent sectarian massacre in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, where 82 Shia civilians were slaughtered, serves as yet another grim reminder of Pakistan's inability or unwillingness to address its deep-seated extremism. Despite heavy security provided by police and military personnel, gunmen ambushed a convoy of over 50 vehicles traveling through Sunni-majority areas. This heinous act not only exposes the country's ingrained sectarian divide but also highlights how the state's counter-terrorism narrative is nothing more than hollow rhetoric. For a nation that has long been accused of exporting terror, its inability to protect its own citizens from extremism underscores its crumbling governance and moral bankruptcy. As if sectarian violence wasn't enough, Pakistan's capital, Islamabad, has descended into chaos, becoming a symbol of political instability. For 2 days now, the city has been in lockdown as authorities attempt to suppress protests by supporters of former Prime Minister Imran Khan, who remains behind bars. Highways leading to the city have been barricaded with shipping containers, public transport has been shut down, and riot police patrol the streets. Meanwhile, Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party has called for a sit-in parliament, exacerbating tensions. This spectacle is yet another chapter in Pakistan's long history of political instability, where governments rise and fall at the whims of vested interests rather than the will of people. Pakistan's economic situation is equally dire. As of June 2023, the nation's total public debt and liabilities have ballooned to an astronomical amount of 62.881 trillion rupees, equivalent to 74.3% of its GDP. This includes domestic debt of 24.309 trillion rupees and significant liabilities by public sector enterprises. With inflation soaring, foreign reserves dwindling, and the economy teetering on collapse, Pakistan is staring down the abyss of economic default. The International Monetary Fund bailouts, often seen as lifelines, are a temporary solution for a nation that refuses to address systematic corruption and inefficiency. Adding to its woes in Pakistan's infamous inability to sustain a government for a full 5-year term, a trend deeply entrenched since the first military coup in 1958. Successive civilian governments have been overthrown, often by the military under the guise of restoring order. Whether we talk about 1958, whether Iskandar Mirza was ousted by Ayub Khan after declaring martial law, then in 1977 Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was removed by General Zia-ul Haq, leading to an era of authoritarian rule. Moving forward to 1999, when Nawaz Sharif was ousted by General Pervez Musharraf in yet another military coup. Even in cases where direct military takeovers were avoided, civilian governments have operated under the shadow of Pakistan's omnipotent military. The result is a vicious cycle of instability that has stunted the country's democratic evolution. Pakistan today stands as a cautionary tale of a country whose chronic instability, extremist violence, and economic mismanagement have rendered it a failed state in all but name. While the government continues to suppress dissent with brute force and the military tightens its grip on power, the people of Pakistan are left to suffer. Unless Pakistan confronts its systematic issues, extremism, political corruption, and economic incompetence, the nation's downward spiral will only accelerate, leaving it further isolated on the global stage. Jai Hind.